Good evening there, sports fans. Welcome back to the Unspectacular Football Talk. I'm Dean.
I'm Ray.
And yeah, we had a couple of weeks vacation off there. We took a little break. We did our scouting, and we're back here giving you all the info that you need and want to know.
Well, before we get into our, basically we're going to do a top 5, bottom 5 in the league, what I think, what Dean thinks. But I just want to make sure, you guys say a prayer for Hugh Jackson. And hopefully he can get a job. Thought he was a really solid head coach.
Really solid. Well, for Cleveland, that was pretty solid.
He followed up that 1-15 season. He went 1-15.
Already doubled it.
He went 1-15. His first season with the Browns, which wasn't good enough, guys. So he upped the ante the following year by going 0-16, and somehow the Browns decided to keep him, and he actually won more games in 5 weeks than he did the whole 2 years prior,
and threw in a tie.
And had a tie.
Come on,
and
man.
But now they fired him.
Do?
They fired him. But so his final record with the Browns would be 3-36-1.
Yep.
I'm really gonna miss him. At least I still got. I want to take the jersey off, and maybe I'll.
In memoriam.
We still got the Cavs to root for, right?
Yeah.
Have they fired their coach?
Yeah. If I have to break that to you, Ty Lue, he got fired the week before.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why?
0-6.
Oh, man.
They're gonna try to.
Okay.
They're gonna try to beat the Cleveland's 0-16 by going 0-82.
Are wife beaters undefeated?
You can never go wrong with wife beaters.
Yes. All right.
So,
well, call the police because that's what I'm rocking with.
Bring it on.
All
right.
Also, Hugh Jackson.
just for notes, just to put it in career perspective.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson, 336-1. He had at least one good 8-8 season with the Raiders. Has a career winning percentage of 200. Bill Belichick would have to lose his next 800 games in a row to have a winning percentage of 200.
That's a statistic right there.
That is quite
That's
a statistic.
Fantastic.
That is futility.
So, Dean, we got our top 5, bottom 5. We'll let you start off. You said you want to start with the...
Let's go from the bottom up. We're moving all the way up. We're going to go for the big reveal at the end.
All right.
Okay. I'm saying my absolute worst of the worst, the most pathetic of pathetic, has got to be the San Francisco 49ers.
All right. 49ers.
And Ray, what is yours?
My bottom team is the Cardinals.
Not that this requires much discussion, because if you've watched any Cardinal games this year, such as I have, it has been pathetic.
They're terrible.
I would agree that they are the worst, but being that they actually did beat the 49ers twice, I gotta throw the 49ers on down there.
Yeah, I just personally I don't put as much stock into head-to-head matchups. There's teams. You look. Let's see, the Lions, for example, this year have beaten the Packers and the Patriots.
Yes.
Do you consider them to be better than the Packers or the Patriots?
Well, you'll have to see when we get to the top 5, because they're going to be my number 1 right up there. No, they're not. No. But then again, like I said, I'm not going to argue with your Cardinals because, it's been pathetic. And Steve Wilkes could have been easily Hugh Jackson this week, and I wouldn't have been crying about that.
Well, he's available if you'd like to fire him and pick up Hugh Jackson to win you 3 games in 2.5 years.
Yeah, no, we're going to go ahead and hold off on that too.
He got second worst.
Second worst. I went ahead and put the Cardinals.
No, hey, what do you know? So we got
hurts
Cardinals
to watch the Cardinals games this year. hurts.
The Cardinals can't score any points.
No.
I mean, they're and I'm just gonna go ahead and pencil in the.
How you can have the talent that the Cardinals have on both sides of the ball. You know, David Johnson, Josh Rosen, even before Josh Rosen, a veteran quarterback, Sam Bradford, Larry Fitzgerald, Chandler Jones, Patrick Peterson, and you can only scrape out 2 wins, which is probably about more first downs than they've had all year.
They struggle on offense.
Bad. Can't stop the run. Again, I don't know what's going on.
Don't need to keep piling on, man. You're gonna end up getting
dumpster fire, and plus we've got more crap to follow. More crap to follow.
Who do you got at third worst here?
I'm gonna go ahead and throw Team Chucky under the bus here and throw the Raiders on down there. This has been a dumpster fire, trash sale going on, but you know they do have the franchise quarterback. They have some talent.
Well, see, I don't have any serious problems with Derek Carr, but from what I've been hearing and the way that they're moving things and trying to get these draft picks and stuff, and basically tanking, I guess, this year, which is hard to say that you can actually tank in a sport that's as physical as the NFL. So who knows? But I'm just a guy in a wife beater. Tanking my entire life, but I don't know if Chucky loves Derek Carr as much as other people do, but just food for thought. I mean,
Chucky loves himself.
He does love himself, and he loves his visors and his Coronas and his commercials.
And he does.
He probably should have stuck with that.
He probably should have.
For number 30, I have the Bills. Should be a surprise to anybody out there who's watched much football this year. The Bills, especially right now too, and I think Peterman's gonna be starting for them
this coming week.
Upcoming week, yeah.
Well, if I'd have known that, we probably could have went ahead and penciled them in at number 32. That's 5 interceptions in the book right there.
Yeah, probably, but. That's all I'll say about that, which leads me, your next one was going to be the Bills anyway.
The Bills, yes! They don't really have much to be excited about. There's always a possibility that Josh Allen can make a return.
As bad as the Bills have been this year, though, I still think they're a little bit better than what
their defense. You know what? If you watched that game last night against the Patriots, they did. But, to hold the Patriots to 9 points in the first half, that's not too shabby. They've got some talent.
They were in it in the fourth quarter.
On the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
LaShawn McCoy, and being that he didn't get traded at the trade deadline.
He likes to wear wife beaters, and then actually...
He likes to wear wife beaters and run around backwards behind the line of scrimmage. But, that's another story.
Let's see. So, I guess my 29th
You're
team,
number 29.
I got the... New York Football.
Oh, not the New York Football Giants. That's Team Eli. How can you be jumping on Team Eli like that?
First off, I wrote them down there a little too high.
Giving them too much credit?
I made them too giant. Yeah, well, my boy Eli. I've never liked Eli Manning. I still don't like Eli Manning. That guy is like 2 postseasons away from... basically being a very mediocre to bad quarterback. Just happens to have a couple Super Bowl wins. I know there's a lot of people out there that might consider that a controversial hot take, but I've never liked Eli ever since he tried, in 2004 when he held out. Didn't want
bullying his way out of San Diego.
Didn't want to be with San Diego. I guess... Sadly, it worked out for him because he did get the 2 Super Bowls.
I feel the same way about John Elway, that and his horse teeth,
He does have a nice horse mouth.
Yeah, and stuff, so.
But yeah, I mean, the Giants, other than Saquon Barkley, Eli, I don't see how anybody could like him. Odell Beckham Jr., other than his 1 or 2 plays a game that make you go, oh, wow, that was a nice catch. I don't really see how you can like him either.
I don't even think his mom likes him.
I think the last time
Mom tells him to shut the hell up.
The last article I read about Odell Beckham Jr., apparently the Giants are trying to get him to drink more water because he cramps up a lot in the middle of games and stuff. And they ask him about that in the post game. He's like, "Oh, it's really hard. I just don't like to drink water. It tastes bad to me." And I don't think I've ever heard a professional athlete who's making millions upon millions of dollars in a brutal sport like football say that something like drinking water is difficult. That's the type of mentality.
Well, you know what? It may have been one too many hits to the head. Hey, it's that concussion. It's that concussion protocol. Get him in the concussion protocol.
So 28.
I'm going to go ahead and throw. That's where I'm going to throw my New York Football Giants. That is just a dumpster fire all over the place. Any one of the bottom 5 there, as far as I'm concerned, when we're down here, this is all interchangeable. They're all crap. They're all playing for one thing, and that's the right to the number 1 pick in the draft next year. I don't know who yet, but I will bet good money. You can bring out the low-budget bets on this. The top pick is going to come from this group of losers right here.
That's supposed to be a dumpster on fire.
That is a good dumpster fire. Your artistic skills are second to none.
My autistic skills?
That too.
So for 28, I got the Browns. Now, I know they're vastly improved to last year.
Vastly.
But look, guys, they fired their head coach and offensive coordinator within an hour of each other. This is again, they started the season with Hugh Jackson as their coach, knowing that he just went 0-16, and he went 0-16 a year after he went 1-15. Again, we just talked about his winning percentage, his career winning percentage, and that's with 8 wins in Oakland. Obviously, like I said earlier, he went 3-36-1 as the Browns head coach. The Browns just find a way somehow to take something good where they were competitive in all their games this year and have found a way to have a kicker that can't make kicks, to have a quarterback who will just throw, and I'm talking about Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor here, will throw 5-yard checkdowns on 3rd and 13s, have a defense that's played, I don't care, they've been out there a lot and have given up some yards and some points in a few games, but they've played spectacular. They're getting a ton of interceptions and fumble recoveries. This was just a waste of a year, and it didn't necessarily need to be that way. I didn't believe before the season started. I know you liked them. You were high on them. You said you wanted to they might get a wild card spot.
I felt it. It was gas. But I felt it.
But after watching them play a few games, I feel like that they really could have if they would have kept trending in the using positive momentum. But instead, it's like, oh, we're going to get rid of Josh Gordon, and because we're arguing over his playing time. And then last week, but before the Steelers game, Hugh Jackson's like, yeah, I'm concerned about the offense and with Todd Haley, and I might step in and start calling plays. You mean the plays that you called that won you 1 game 2 years ago and 0 games last year? Yeah, please do. But now he can call plays on a video game or something because he's unemployed.
Well, do you think this would help Cleveland? And I'm just talking just for ease of transition, and we're at that point where it's like, screw it. Let's try it. Now, Hugh Jackson, okay? You've been calling him coach all this time. You get so used to the name. I'm wondering if maybe if we bring in the Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, just so we can keep it nice and even flow.
Yeah.
No,
you can't lose much more.
Yeah, you can. I don't think, But that's me. Why don't we take this on to the cream of the crop?
Yeah.
Let's move into the top 5. Ray, why don't you go ahead and start us off with your number 5?
Number five, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They don't need Le'Veon Bell. James Conner's been...
But they're going to get Le'Veon.
They're probably
whether they want him or not.
Le'Veon Bell at some point. But James Conner's been good. Ben Roethlisberger's been... Ben Roethlisberger. Antonio Brown's coming around now, catching some touchdowns and all that, like he usually does. Yeah. Their defense, they got a pretty good pass rush, even with just their front four. I just think if I had to pick a top 5 team, I'm not real high on on a lot of teams in the NFC right now because they're all just kind of there's a lot of parity in the NFC right now.
There's a lot of parity in the NFL, but
I would say in the AFC, you kind of have your same old usual suspects, and the Steelers are one of those. What about you?
I'm gonna go ahead.
We'll extinguish the flames here.
I am going to go ahead and jump on the Los Angeles Chargers bandwagon. Phillip Rivers, a good defense. They're going to get Joey Bosa back probably sometime in early November.
Eventually.
This is a team that and is still playing good football on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
I like them. They've got a top-notch quarterback, running back, wide receivers, defense, and a kicker. A kicker that can actually kick the ball. They've got all of the ingredients. I don't know that they can do it, but I'd certainly like what they're doing good enough to put them in number 5 slot.
We're talking right now, halfway through the season. The Chargers have looked pretty good. Number 4, again, like I said, same old Patriots. Yeah. So the Patriots, obviously, they started off a little slow, but they've started off slow a lot of years and then end up just rattling off.
Old. And you know what? We haven't gotten... Yeah, I hate it. They're going to be in my top 5. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. But you just might as well put the arrow by it. And again, going back, it's the definition of what Cleveland's missing. It's coaching. It doesn't matter how you start. It never does. It's how you finish. And you know what? Belichick has got this tuned down and stuff. So
it also, again, helps, I'll just say, not to try to diminish the greatness of the Patriots over the last 15 years, but it helps being in the AFC East.
It does not hurt.
So you can get off to a slow start, and still end up winning your division by 3-4 games.
Through it. Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Saints in my number 4 slot. And you know what? It'd be hard not to have them higher because that offense led by Drew Brees is freaking spectacular and fun to watch. Everything watching the Arizona Cardinals isn't. Man, is this a fun team to watch. Mm-hmm. So that Alvin Kamara, he is a steal and a find.
Sure.
For him, Drew Brees, 39 years old.
Looks like he could still be doing it.
Oh, God, he should keep trending like Brady into the 40s.
Well, I hear he's pretty big into fitness, and he's like a workoutaholic. Mm-hmm. And so he takes really good care of himself.
Got power.
Really, again, aside from that shoulder injury he had way back in the day, he's been healthy. He's played.
That changed the landscape of football.
Yeah,
that was certainly an interesting one.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. All right, moving on to number 3.
Yeah, my number 3. We don't really need to talk about them much again, but I also have the Saints as my third best team in the league. Again, I won't keep gushing about Drew Brees and everything, but like I said, before the season started, I picked them to be my NFC representative into the Super Bowl, and I don't regret picking that.
I don't think you should. We'll move on to my number 3, the TB12-led Patriots.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, again, not a lot of extra gushing to do there and stuff. Just, you want to hate them. And go ahead and throw in the Boston Red Sox for that matter. Congratulations for your World Series. The whole New England area. Yeah, you're all wicked something.
Yeah.
And stuff. But that's neither here nor there for in case Tony's watching somewhere off in Boston, love. Neither here nor there. They still say what you want about them, the towns, the people, whatever. Certainly the sports organizations know what the hell they're doing. Consistency.
They seem to.
Well. And stuff. So, can't fault them.
No. Number 2, I put the Rams there. The LA Rams. Just because I feel like their defense is a little shaky at times. Aside from that,
they had their pickup of Dexter Fowler.
That's true. That's
from
true.
Jacksonville.
That should help them, but
former first rounder.
But again,
48 sacks a year ago. And stuff. So
I have them at number 2. I just mean, I just like my number 1 a tad bit better right now. And I've also seen them play a little more. I haven't really seen the Rams a ton this year on TV. I just know obviously they're the only undefeated team in the league, and Todd Gurley is a freak.
I believe we talked about it earlier in the year when we started this on the first show that I was pretty much against the Rams after their, leaving of St. Louis. For those of you that don't know, I was originally an original St. Louis Rams season ticket holder. I did have Super Bowl tickets to the year that they won the Super Bowl. Wife was 8.5 months pregnant, couldn't go, but, still made a nice chunk of profit off of it, but, neither here nor there. Wanted to root against them, wanted to hate them, but I certainly can't argue with you having them as your number 2. On my second team, have the Kansas City Chiefs. I do love this team. I love their quarterback. They are... as exciting as the Saints are, man, did the Chiefs just blow everybody away on the dynamic side of the offense. Mm-hmm. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Patrick Mahomes, all over the place. Secondary receiver. It is incredibly fun to watch. A blast. Yep. Anytime the Chiefs are on, they are the new must-see TV. And if you want to take that in, go ahead and take it on to your number 1.
Yeah, my number 1 team, I have the Chiefs. I just love watching them play, as Dean said. And again, they have all those crazy dynamic playmaker weapons. But I think another thing to be said, too, about as we reach the twilight of the careers of Drew Brees and Tom Brady and just kind of the end of the beginning of this current golden era of offense, I guess, and quarterbacking. Patrick Mahomes is a guy who's, what is he, 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 22 years old.
22 years old.
And he's out there lighting it up, throwing, 4 touchdowns here, almost every game, 300 yards almost every game.
No, every game.
Every game. Every game. And hasn't turned the ball over much either. I mean, and he just looks
more of late and stuff, but still, 6-1.
6-1, man. And the only game they lost was to the Patriots, and it was a close one.
And that was a close one. I'll move on to my number 1, the Los Angeles Rams. We've talked about them. Rams, Chiefs, Saints, fun as hell to watch offensively. I think the Rams have a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball, and I think they've acquired more, and I think they stand a better chance of putting that all together at the end. If there is a merciful football god, we will have a Rams-Chiefs Super Bowl, and man, will that be a fun one.
It'd be a fun for multiple reasons. One, obviously they're great, fun teams to watch, but 2, we just have fresh teams in there.
Yeah.
Rams haven't won a Super Bowl in a while, and Chiefs haven't won a Super Bowl in a long
time. Anything that keeps the Patriots out of there, I'm all for.
Yeah, I really, even though I put them both in there, I don't want to see the Steelers or Patriots go to the Super Bowl.
No, we do not.
A lot of the teams I'd like to see go to the Super Bowl are, other than the Giants. I could care less about the Giants, but I'd like to see the Bills, Raiders, Cardinals, or 49ers, certainly the Browns, obviously, go to the Super Bowl, but it ain't gonna happen this year, or probably anytime soon.
No, but you know what? You can't say that. There's always that team next year that's gonna come out of that was a dumpster fire that makes playoffs next year. It always happens. Yeah. Last year was the Bills. This year the Bills are back to the dumpster fire and stuff.
So one thing we didn't talk about that I'll just ask you: do you have maybe one team in mind that didn't make your top 5? Maybe is sitting around 500 or a little lower that you think could make a run? get to the playoffs.
We can go ahead and give I've got an honorable mention for both and stuff. I've got an honorable mention for my bottom 5. The Broncos are certainly another dumpster fire.
But they won some games.
They have won some games and stuff like that.
That could be that's misleading, though, right? Like they won those games in spite of not the best offensive performances.
Correct. And stuff. So and things are catching up, and I think you're going to see much more.
It's
of
like
that
the Broncos back when what's his face, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Oh, Josh McDaniels when he was their head coach, and they started off like 8-0 or whatever, 7-0, and didn't even make the playoffs that year, I think. Yeah, I would agree with that. What about a team that you think could?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. If we were picking my things, and if I was picking them true to my heart, the Chargers would not have been my 5th pick. My 5th pick would have been my original AFC Super Bowl pick, Houston. I love the way they're trending right now. I love the way Deshaun Watson is looking. The Will Fuller injury certainly hurt him, but a nice trade for Demaryius Thomas. Come on, why am I drawing a blank? DeAndre Hopkins. I've really gotten a chance to watch him a lot this year.
He's good. He's been really good for years now.
He's better than good.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is freaking outstanding.
And you look at him, and he's so much smaller than some of the other elite receivers in the NFL. But yeah, man, he's a
that
hell of a
catch
player.
that wasn't a catch that certainly should have been a catch. Did you see that? Through the leg.
Right,
Wow. And like I said, that's just going back through and watching some of his other highlight catches that just look routine. A more athletic version of Larry Fitzgerald, and Larry Fitzgerald in his prime was certainly athletic, but I still think that the stuff DeAndre Hopkins does is generational.
Well, and an argument for you there is that the AFC South is still wide open. So, best way to make the playoffs, give yourself a chance, win your division. So, they definitely got a chance there.
They're sitting at number 1 right now.
Same thing for me, the same way I feel about the Eagles. Like, I feel like the Eagles,
like they're putting it together at the right time.
I felt like they were going to win the NFC East before the season started. Got off to a shaky start. Seems like they got it maybe kind of together now, and they just picked up Golden Tate, so that'll help them. I really, really like Golden Tate. They only gave away a third-round pick for him, but the problem is he's just going to be kind of like a 1-year rental, right? Because he's going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. So we'll see if they pony up some more money from him.
Yeah, all the big acquisitions seems like
kind of an unusual year though for the NFL. Normally the NFL doesn't have a ton of trade deadline moves like this.
Well, since they moved the trade deadline to later in the season, it certainly helped. Yeah. You have a bit more feeling of whether you're a buyer or a seller, and especially if you got that player that's going to be a free agent, you can get a little something for you.
Yeah.
And you've decided you are a seller, and things like that. Yeah,
and also,
that makes sense.
I've watched a lot of Lions, pretty much every Lions game this year. They still have a couple really good young receivers that they won't miss Golden Tate as much as much. They'll miss him this year, but they won't miss him as much as the amount of money that he would have wanted. I don't think
they're not out of it yet. No. As far as division goes, that division certainly turned out. You thought it was going to be one of the stronger.
I still think it is. It's just they're all clumped together.
They're all exactly. But you figured Minnesota or Green Bay. One of those two would have certainly put some staggering distance between the rest.
But the Lions still play against the Bears, the Vikings, the Packers. So if they can somehow pull those games off.
Still not sold on Chicago yet and stuff. So
yeah, we'll see.
But they've certainly turned out to be a good surprise and stuff. Have been entertaining watch.
I got nothing against the Bears.
No, Bears.
And I really like Khalil Mack, man. I mean,
the
Raiders made a huge mistake letting him go.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know what else you got. Anything?
I got nothing else for this week, folks.
Well, that was pretty
unspectacular. So, well, we'll see you again next week here on the Unspectacular Football Talk. Bye.
Bye.